Hey, what's up guys, John here. Phoenix has just reported the highest level of evictions in their history.
More than half of U.S. workers cannot afford to rent a two-bedroom apartment while only working one full-time job.
And it's leading to more evictions.
Far eclipsing 2005 levels, right before the great financial crisis. People look at that era as, the great collapse of America's economy. They look at like a 1920 style event. They say this was the worst period of the economy in our lifetimes. And at that point, that was true. But what we're walking into right now seems like it's going to be a lot worse. I mean, if you just look at facts alone. CNN put this article out about 5 weeks ago, July 24th. They said it was humiliating. Evictions in these cities were worse than before Rona. They said that Gainesville, 46% increase in evictions. Vegas, up 43%. Houston, 42%. Phoenix, during this publication, said it was up 35%. Now it's all-time highs. Nashville, 31%. Fort Worth, Texas, 25%. They even say other cities like Minneapolis, up 44%, and Columbus, Ohio, up 37%. Now, would you say that it's a tenant-only issue, or is this an everybody issue? I think it's an everyone issue, and that's what facts lead to. They're saying refinance, boom, 94% increase higher than it was a year ago. Now, why are homeowners refinancing their homes?
Applications to refinance a home loan surged 35% compared with the previous week. They were up a whopping 118% compared with the same week a year ago.
They're refinancing not to go to Peru or Mexico or go on some exotic vacation, not trying to buy a flat screen TV or an F-150. They're trying to pay their insurance premiums, their taxes. They're trying to feed themselves and their kids. They're trying to make it through this storm. But what many don't realize is this storm isn't going to be like anything we've ever lived through. At least that's what it seems. Imagine this. People go on Zillow. They'll say, look, my home's worth 500 grand. I owe 300. My lender said they'll give me 80% loan to value, meaning they can give me a loan upwards of 400 grand. I can tap into 100 grand in equity. I can take this 100 grand and I can ride through this. At least that's the plan, right? But when you have tenants that are getting evicted at sky high levels, you have homeowners that are bracing for impact, and then you see what they're planning over the next 30, 60, 90, and 120 days, you'll realize that everything in this country is about to change. I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to give you the facts and show you exactly what they're doing step by step to help you and position you for what I think is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in American history. Please hit the like button, people share the content, educate more people about what's going on in the U.S. economy. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself, we'd love to help you. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items on your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for tomorrow. Take a look at this. Mortgage demand is now heavily skewed towards refinancing as interest rates declined for the 5th straight week. Total mortgage applications rose just 1.6% last week compared with the previous week, according to Mortgage Banker Association seasonally adjusted index. So you're seeing this. You're seeing the job market getting absolutely crushed right now. Layoffs from everything from tech to freight. Doesn't matter if you're a teacher, doesn't matter if you're in the restaurant industry. All different retail, all different industries are getting absolutely restructured right now. Many companies are going completely bankrupt. You're seeing bankruptcies skyrocket. And so you look at this scenario as a whole. You say, okay, tenants are in trouble, homeowners are in trouble, the job market's in trouble, record high student loans, credit card debt, auto loan debt. All at the same time, they're printing $1 trillion every 100 days. What is this going to mean? What's this going to equate to? It's going to equate to a storm, a massive, massive storm. They say that private sector payrolls grew at the weakest pace in more than 3.5 years in August, providing yet another sign of a deteriorating labor market, according to the ADP. Companies hired just 99,000 workers for the month, less than the downwardly revised 111,000 in July, and the Dow Jones consensus forecast 140. So they thought it was going to be 140, ended up being 99,000. So what's fascinating here is what they're doing. What they're doing, let's look at Canada, for example. Canada is saying nearly 1/4 of Canadians will use food banks in the fall. 25%. If you ever went online and you looked at pictures of 1929, you would see pictures of food bank lines going block by block by block. So many people desperately looking. If you have 1/4 of Canadians desperately looking for food, isn't that like a 1929 style event on steroids? Because you look at the crisis unfolding in Canada, you look at what's happening here in America, it's basically the same. Look at what's happening in Nebraska. They're saying Nebraska Food Bank announces $37 million building and relocation plan to help meet unforeseen demand. Omaha, rising demand for food assistance across 93 counties it serves has pushed the food bank for the heartland to an extraordinary measure, including leasing refrigerated trailers to store food in the parking lot. Volunteers and semi-truck drivers that visit the Omaha-based nonprofit often jam the road leading into its current headquarters. Meanwhile, increased food costs and an end to many pandemic-era government assistance programs have created disruption that officials said they have not seen in its 42-year history. To help meet growing needs, the food bank on Sunday publicly announced a $37 million plan to build a new office and warehouse complex at a larger 12-acre campus at the northeast corner of 84th and L Street in Omaha. So you look at that food bank, I mean, that shows where America's at. Representatives were joined by Omaha's Mayor Gene Strodhert in publicly unveiling renderings and other details of a 105,000 square foot facility, which are about 40% larger than its current home. So you see that. You see Feeding America uses bold collective action in face of increase in food insecurity. It came out today, right? So all of this stuff is happening. In Chicago, the number of people living in food insecure households in the United States in 2023 increased to 47 million, including 14 million children. So you see this. And what I think is going to happen next, I saw this response here. It says that homelessness is about to get even more crazy. That's true, and they have a plan for that. Here, and I've reported on this, the day that it came out, saying that this is what's going to be happening over the next year or so, is going to be a lot more tenant protections, a lot of structural change and systemic change in the economy in terms of landlord-tenant laws, in terms of eviction moratoriums, even forbearance moratoriums. We're going to start seeing those back again. You're already seeing it. They're already in place for VA home loans and FHA loans. They have a 25% reduction in payment plan if you have an FHA loan, so you don't have to be reported as a delinquent borrower. They're going to start seeing these things again. Here they said that through the All Inside initiative, the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness and its 19 federal members agencies will partner with state and local governments to strengthen and accelerate local efforts to get unsheltered people into 6 places: Chicago, Dallas, LA, Phoenix, Metro, Seattle, and state of California. So watch Phoenix, because they're going to be bringing all of this change is going to be hitting Phoenix. You look at what's happening in Los Angeles. You look at what Karen Bass is doing, the mayor of LA. You look at all those changes with Gavin Newsom. You'll see very, very clearly that LA and the state of California move in that same direction. Chicago issuing the statement about food banks and how bad food insecurity is, and talking about evictions and all the problems that they have now in Chicago. You start to kind of connect the dots here, and you'll realize very, very quickly that things are about to get out of control. But at the same exact time, what's very interesting is you have America is on course to build more apartments than it has in 50 years. New apartment construction in the U.S. is on track to hit 50-year high. Economists report apartment completions likely to approach 600,000 units by 2025. So you have sky-high development. And I was, in most of these cities the last, call it 6 to 8 weeks. And there was one development after the next, one skyscraper after the next. It was unreal. I had never seen anything like it. And when you have all of this demand hitting at the same time, rents are going to continue to soften, and you have all these tenants that are getting evicted, what's happening next is going to be this: tracking the biggest multifamily delinquencies. It was initially posted in October 2023, and then it was just updated, about last month. But what's fascinating and what's going to happen here is we're going to see rents continue to soften, continue to soften, continue to soften. And you're going to see tenants that are unable to pay these sky-high rents. A lot of these investors bought these deals thinking, hey, look, rents are going to go up 20, 30% a year. That's what happened in 2021 and 2022, 2023. That's what's going to continue happening. And so they built out these major projects thinking that they're going to be able to charge, these premiums. Tenants don't have the money, and they're not paying. And so because of it, they're going to have to continue dropping rents to compete with all this new inventory. It's just a bloodbath for existing and new inventory to try to find a good tenant that's actually going to pay. And they're going to continue offering concessions, and they're going to continue doing what they have to do to try to fill these units. And they're saying that we're basically walking into a storm. We're walking into a storm inside a multifamily. So you take a hard look at what's happening here. You have tenants in trouble. You have homeowners in trouble. You have sky-high credit card debt, sky-high auto loan debt, sky-high personal loan debt. Delinquencies are going through the roof of business loans. Then you're seeing multifamily in trouble, office in trouble, You're seeing regional banks sitting on a lot of really, really bad debt, and food bank lines going parabolic, so much so that they're building out new facilities, talking about demand they've never seen in the 42-year history since they've had that food bank. What do you think about this situation? Do you think we're walking into a soft landing like they've led us to believe, or do you think what's more likely is we're going to continue walking into the erosion of living standards in America, and they're going to bring forward these new solutions to combat all of these new problems that we're going to be walking into likely in the winter? Let's have a conversation about this below. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. I think the situation is going to get real in this country very, very, very soon. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself, what I believe is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in American history, we'd love to help you at my company, greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items in your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call tomorrow. Catch you next video.